Hi everyone, it's Marcie Besecker. I am an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! And today I am doing a recorded video for you as I have company for the holidays. And so I wanted to have some fun with this Woodland Wonder. So I'm going to grab a drink really quick. I just finished the very last of my Christmas cards. I also sent out my customer thank you cards. I just finished a video live with you, hence the same shirt I had on earlier. Notice the purple hue is gone. Hue is gone on the video we had earlier. So if you look, here is the purple hue again. Gone. Purple, gone. It was my light. It was turned just enough to reflect off the screen. Although it's an LED light, I don't know where the purple comes from, but problem solved. Okay, so this is such a cute set, and this is not my normal go-to type of stamp set. But of course I have 2 grandchildren now, so I thought this would be really cute for them, and I have some ideas for it. A Slimline card was not an idea I had. However, I thought this is the perfect Slimline card. And so I'm going to show you how to use the Stamparatus and get this image done perfectly. So I wrote down my Slimline measurements because I've never done a Slimline card. So I looked it up and they suggested that you do a card base of 9 by 7. So let's just get busy and I will show you what I did. So I'm going to take a 9 by 7 Mossy Meadow and I scored it here at 3.5. So here is our Slimline. Then I did 3.25 by 8.5. So I had a little bit of a border here. And then I did my Whisper White at 3 by 8.5. No, so this is 8 3/4 by 3. Let's see. Okay, 9 by 7 scored at 3.5. 8 3/4 by 3.25. So you're going to go by quarters, and then 3 by 8.5. So that's what I did. So the first thing I did is I did my image and I cut it out, and I'll show you that in a little while. This is just going to be a template. So we're going to put that aside. You're going to take your 3 by 8.5. Let me turn my light over here a little better now that I don't have my purple glare. We're going to bring our Stamparatus in. I like to keep my stamp set up in front of me just so I have something to lay my Stamparatus on. So you'll notice I have my, let me pull it in here and show you a little bit. I have my first stamped image that I'm going to do here. I have my second one right here. So I'm gonna actually move us out just a bit. Okay, so you can see a little better. Okay, so our second one is here, and our third one is here, but on the other side. So I want my stamp set just to be here because that gives us a nice flush stamp. I also like to have something over here. It just gives you a flat surface instead of it angling down, and it's easier to stamp. Okay, so what I did is I put the top of our tree over here. Now I have not created this card yet, which is why all you see is the stamp set at the front of our video here. I just kind of wanted to play with it, and we're going to be doing some coloring, so this is a perfect video. You guys could fast forward if you want, and you don't have to watch me color, but let's see what we come up with. So I'm going to do my trees first on the top, the branches, and there's a little bird, and I just took some memento. I just kind of moved it down a little bit, just kind of put it right in the middle of our piece of paper. And this took me a little bit of time because I wasn't sure I was going to do a Slimline. I kind of wanted to do a fancy fold something with it, but I might just do that later once I get the set figured out a little bit. Then what I did is I took this stamp and I aligned it to where the tip of the tree is just over the tips of the bottom of the tree there. Okay, so what I did is I put it on my piece of paper, aligned it, and it's actually fairly easy to do. So I'm going to just close this. And so these tips here are just off the top. Now, if it's slightly off, I wouldn't worry about it. It's kind of like, it looks like a notch in the tree. It's really not that big of a deal. So this is the second one. I want to make sure I get all my little animals. Okay, so see, it's slightly off. It kind of looks like the top of the tree just angles a little, but what tree is exactly straight up and down, right? All right, so now that looks good. I'm going to turn it just because it was easier to turn because the paper is so long and it's longer than this. Okay, so I turned this, I aligned everything up, and now I have it to where I just turn this panel over. Now, notice that this stamp set is also off of my stamp box here. So the ink is not getting on anything, but I still have this nice flat image. I'm going to go ahead and put my magnets on there, and I'm going to ink up the bottom portion of our image, and I'm just going to press it down. See, and that's going to be quite a bit off a little bit because I think I pulled this over a little more when I did it last time. I am not worried about it. We're going to fix it with some coloring, so let's not worry about that. Oops. This is to worry about. Be careful when you pull these apart. You slide them. You don't want to break them. Okay? So let me just wipe this up really quick. Just a little. And that's why I pulled this in. We'll just put that there. I take that off and we'll just move it aside. All right. So now, I'm just hoping that doesn't slide off anywhere. Okay, so now we're going to do some coloring. So what I thought, and like I said, I have not done this before. I was just thinking that we could use our image here, and we're going to do a little bit of blending at the same time. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue. I'm going to move this in a little closer again for you so you can watch what I'm going to be trying to do here. Let me get my light in a little more. Okay, so my thought is if we take this little image and just kind of put it on here, I'm going to take my blue and I'm just going to shade it down just a little to where I can see the line. And we're going to start off and then come onto the paper, and if it's a little dark at the top, that's okay. I actually prefer that. All right, we're going to move our image just a little bit. And again, start off, come on. All right, I'm going to turn my paper. All right, we're going to align our image back up. Hopefully my head's not in the way. All right, I want the black lines to show because I want this to be close enough. I did this template out of our regular Whisper White because I wanted it to last a few projects. I don't want, okay, right here you can see some blue. I did cut down right there. So I'm going to put that back on there. So right there and right here I cut through. So start off again, but kind of go on there to get your blue inside the leaves right there. The other thing I was going to do is I want by that bird. So I'm going to take my scissors and I am going to, I mean, there's a lot of blue spots in there. I'm going to wait. I have another idea for this. So I'm going to wait on that. Because I really think once you do the leaves that we could probably pull this in and do a little blue like this. Because you're going to be using your markers on top of that. So I am not too concerned about that. You could also take your blends and just do those little areas, which might even be a better idea. So let's just try that in a little bit. All right, so we're going to move this back. And again, come back in with your blue. Keep going. We want to get close to the tree, because this is blue sky, right? All right. And again, somebody mentioned about this being kind of flexible, and it is. It's not as flexible as the other ones that I've had, but it is flexible. So just pull your fingers up towards the top a little more. I think you have more control that way anyway, so I don't mind holding on to the image right there. The brushes up a little closer. I want to say thank you to everybody that has come back to my YouTube and left a comment. I kind of explained that on the video on last Sunday, which is today, but when you see this, it's going to be probably next week. And it really makes a huge difference, and I appreciate it. And you are going to be going into a drawing, which I've already done by the time you see this video, so congratulations to whoever wins. And I still, at this moment, don't know what you're going to get, but it'll be something yummy, something good. All right, so let's just keep doing this. And it's all about layering. Oops, see, I went a little dark right there. That's probably not what I wanted to do. But I do want to get close to the tree, so I'm just going to move over a little bit so I can see the black lines on the tree, just so we know that this image gets right up to the tree. And that's kind of a boo-boo right there, but that's all right. We are going to keep going, and you're going to notice the tree went out a little bit, so we're going to need to angle that right at this spot. So we're just going to keep doing some sky down towards the bottom. And now I think we're going to go ahead and do some green. And see how it's lower here and higher there, and that's okay, because we're going to fix it to where the grass isn't completely level either. We're going to kind of have it look like a close image. So we're going to pull in our Granny Apple Green. And I'm kind of debating on Granny Apple Green because I'm using the Mossy Meadow in the background. And so I think I'm going to go with Mossy Meadow, just to kind of tie it in. I don't want to do a super bright green. So maybe I'll do a little Old Olive and a little Mossy Meadow. If we do a bright green and then have that dark background, maybe we'll make this look a little more earthy. And we can always darken the blue up too. So let's do some, and we really don't need this too much except around the tree. So let's just, the grass is green and not worried about that part. It's the tree. And so we're just going to kind of blend in our Old Olive. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's artsy, right? I just loved how the Stamparatus was absolutely perfect for this image. Okay. And now I'm going to bring in a little bit of the Mossy Meadow just to kind of tie it in with the background. Again, kind of put that on the tree. And you actually could probably take your the grass off at the bottom, but I'm going to go back in with a marker on that anyway with our blends, so I'm not really worried about that. We're going to kind of put some grass in there. Okay, I want a little more dark on the bottom. All right, so there we go. I think that's good enough. Kind of gives that image, right? All right. So I think what I'm going to do, like I said, here we are just going rogue doing this. I don't have any plans, but see how stiff this still is? This is going to last pretty well. It doesn't fit in the stamp set, I don't think. I guess it's close. Look, if you put it in the stamp set, I mean, it could go in there really close. I would cut this off if I'm going to cut anything off, but we'll see. You could fold it too. All right, so I think I'm going to bring in some light and dark Mossy Meadow and light and dark Old Olive. I'm going to bring in light Balmy Blue. So I'm going to take this and just kind of see what it looks like. And we're just going to kind of go in and lightly go in the spots that didn't get the blue. And I think this actually looks really good. So you could shade a little with light, a little with dark if you want. But I didn't really have to do this. I could have just used this. And it actually, I should have thought about that earlier, but I didn't. But I'm kind of liking how this is turning out. And you could do the dark if you wanted it, and then because you are looking behind and through a tree. But I would just rather take your balmy and go over it again, the light, so that it's not super dark. That's what I would recommend that. Take your balmy blue and go over it 2 times. That way it's shaded a little darker, but it's not super dark. All right, so there's that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is take Mossy Meadow, and I like to take them and just kind of color on the side so you know. That's the light. This is the dark. All right, that's Mossy Meadow. Oops, I forgot to turn my sound off. Sorry about that. All right. Then you're going to take your Old Olive, and that's the light, and then this is the dark. And this just kind of helps me decide what colors I want. I think the Mossy Meadow is a little too dark, so I'm going to go with the Old Olive dark, and I'm going to outline. So I'm just going to run a line right down the middle of the leaves like they show. I'm going to do that first. Because this is going to be a pretty quick color, I'm going to do like a half of page, and then I'll go back to the other portion. Okay, and then I'm going to do at the inside, kind of where the stem would be, just kind of do a little bit of like a little V on the leaves, and then I'm going to do the stem. There's only one stem right there. So I did that. It just gives it a little more depth, that's all. I know some people really like to watch coloring and it's relaxing, and other people don't. And that's fine. I don't mind watching it because I like to see how other people do it. But everybody, to each his own. You could fast forward this. And it's also a fantastic way to learn some different techniques. Okay, I think that's a little dark. I might do a few of these, just kind of where you think it would be like a shadow, like that leaf is behind, this leaf is behind, that kind of a thing. This one's behind, this one's behind. So just kind of take a look at that, and then I would come back with this. So that was the dark Old Olive and the light Mossy Meadow, and now I'm doing the light Old Olive, and I'm going to come in with the rest of it with the light. And I'm using the little part just because these leaves are kind of small. And so the leaf, by doing the leaves like this, you're just adding a little bit of texture. I've told you guys this before. I think I much prefer doing a live, which is so funny because I used to be scared, not scared, but just nervous of doing a live just because it's like, oh, what if I mess up? There is a part of a blue right here. And I was always like, oh my gosh, what if I mess up? And I'm on live and everybody's going to see me mess up. And I actually think it's more fun chatting and visiting with you and, you know, answering questions and that kind of thing. It's more fun. So you guys are going to have to leave me a message. Let me know how you like the video. Also, if there's a set that you like, that you know it's coming up, or you've seen, and you want any, you know, a different view of whatever you've seen and you want to see me create with it, just let me know. I did order my dies, so they're coming. I'm excited. I did not overnight them, being that I have company coming. I decided I wasn't really going to be able to play with those right away anyway, so I might as well just let them come on the slow boat. And I will be ready to play. They're staying only until Christmas Day, and then they're going back home. So I will be not shopping the day after Christmas. I will be probably here doing a video. Alright, so now I'm going back to the dark olive to do my other side. And I'm going to do my little V's. This is where I got that blue on there, and that's alright. Alright, so we're going to put our line and our line with our little V. And it's basically a scribble. Doesn't have to be a V. Just something. Alright, now I'm going to take my light Mossy Meadow. I'm like, is that what I used? I think so. Just kind of find a few leaves here and there, especially the ones that are in the back. That looks like they might have some shade, but see how there's just some texture? Let me bring you even closer, because that's kind of a... I'm looking up and realizing, gee, I hope my head's not in the way. Alright, let me get the light down here. Okay, so now I'm going back to the light, and I'm going to finish these. And so I brought my whole, I have my blends like this. Ooh. Okay, so they're in a Stampin' storage case. I absolutely love it. I tried a couple of different ways. And I have to say, I know I've mentioned Stampin' Storage before, but I love their stuff. It's such great quality. Everything is perfect when I, you know, have my paper in it or my punches. Definitely my dies for the magnets and pouches. I'm waiting for some more to come. And I love my blends like this. They're just right there and available. They are a little pricey. I'm not going to pretend I don't think they aren't, because they are. But they are definitely worth it. So if you're interested in looking that up, on my blog, marciebesecker.com, on the right hand side, there is a button there that says Stampin' Storage. And you can just go click on that. That's my affiliate link. But you can take a look and it'll take you over there and you can see what they have available there. Alright, I'm just going to fill that in a little darker. Just because out here is a little darker, so I'm going to go over this one more time with the light. I don't want to pull out the dark. I think it'll be too dark. But I'm going to go through. This is a third time with the light balmy blue. Oops, and that's blue underneath the bird. Okay, I think that's good. So down at the bottom, I think I'm going to take the darker, or the light Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to do some flicks a little longer than what's there. And in front of the tree, behind the tree, just do some flicks up and down. Alright, then you're going to take the old olive, the dark, same thing. But basically we're filling in this, and this is, I'm going to make it kind of like a shadow area down here. So, okay, not worried about that. Again, flick up, 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 up. Just keep going in the front of the tree. And you want to kind of flick left and right so that your images look, you know, back and forth. All right, and I'm fine with that. That's good enough for me. Now you could take your light and you could just do a little bit of flicking here and there. All right, and I think that's good. It just kind of adds a little more color in there. All right, so now let's try our tree. And I'm kind of, let's check out the suede. So again, I pull the color out and I like that color. That's the light and that's the dark. But I love cinnamon too, so I want to see what that looks like. And I think I'm going to do the raccoon or somebody with the cinnamon. Maybe the squirrel. All right, so for now, let's do the tree. And I'm going to use the soft suede. I'm going to use the dark. And I'm just going to go on the lines. They've already put the shading and the shadowing, everything. The artist has done so much for us that it just makes it so easy. So I'm just going to do that portion first because I like that this is going to blend with the dark. And if you wait too long, it's a little harder to blend. It's just because the color kind of goes with the paper and then stays there, and it just is not as wet to blend so easily. And so I like to just do kind of sections at a time. All right. And I'm using the thinner end because I just don't want to get too crazy with the larger end. All right, and you can go in circles. You can, alcohol is pretty forgiving too with the fact that it blends, so you're not going to really see a lot of harsh marks or anything. And if you look super close, you're going to see a little tiny white line right along the tree there, but I'm not worried about it. You really can't tell unless you're looking for that. So don't get too caught up with, oh no, you can see blue right there, and you can around the squirrel too. So I am going to bring this back in because there's quite a bit right underneath his face. So I'm going to bring that back in. And while I'm here, I'll do the tree, but I'm not worried about the tree as much. It's that little squirrel under his face right there. It's kind of a big white spot. And so I'm going to blend that a little bit, and that's much better. It looked like he had a white beard. I don't want that. So, all right, so back to our dark. So again, this is the soft suede. And you could, as you know, go like underneath him right here and do a little shadowing. They do have a black circle there because he's coming out of the hole, so they kind of do that for you, but you could add a little more there if you want. And then just make sure you kind of come right up to that and blend it a little bit. You don't want that big harsh circle right there. This is such a cute set, and I wasn't going to get it. To be really honest, it wasn't my kind of card, but then I thought, you know what, and I really like the saying. It says, hope your day stacks up to be one good thing on top of another. And so I thought, as my challenge was that I explained last week, is I want to start sending some uplifting cards, at least one a week. And so I thought, this is perfect. It's just a kind of a fun, and apparently this fits into a 10-inch envelope, a number 10, not a 10-inch. Well, I'm guessing it's a 10-inch too, but it's a number 10 envelope. So you can do that, and with the Slimline. All right, so here we go again. Dark lines, and I kind of like that shadow, so I'm just going to go under his paws a little and just up the side there where his little chin is. So again, just kind of go down. The owl, the same thing. I'm just going to do a little okay, and right there is where the tree went, but see how I just did that brown line right there? It really just looks like a knot in the tree, so, or an image kind of in the tree, so don't worry about that. You can make it work to where the trunk is aligned, or you can just keep taking your time and trying to get the image to exactly line up. I thought it was close enough and wasn't going to worry about it. All right. So just by adding those lines right where the artist already does the lines when they created this stamp, I mean, look at the difference. If you were to just come in here and stamp this with brown, it would be kind of boring. I mean, it would be fine, but just by adding the darker color, which is what's really cool about the stamping blends, is you get the light and the dark colors. Oops, look, I'm going on, and I didn't do my dark lines on the bottom yet. And it just adds that much more depth. And I am going to go down into the grass where the lines are. All right. All right, I'm going to finish this up. All right, so now I'm just going, I don't want the green really blended with the brown, so I'm just going to kind of do like a flicking motion just to go up and get my brown in those spots that I need it. And then I'm going to turn because, of course, I can see better on this side, not the other side of my hand. All right. So there is our tree image so far. All right, so now, and I just did these little labels on, I added some adhesive on a piece of paper with double-sided adhesive, and then I took a little punch. On my computer, I typed out the little names and everything. I haven't done it to my in colors yet, so they don't have it. Not everything has it, but I'm trying to keep it that way. All right, so now I think, oh, I need my cinnamon back. I think I'm going to do my squirrel and cinnamon. I'm going to bring back my, I think I'm going to use my light basic black. Okay, I think I'm done with my greens, so we're going to put my Mossy Meadow back. All right, my raccoon, I kind of like the idea of him cinnamon too, and I might just do both of them. But let's do our bird first. So I'm going to take the light, no, I'm going to take the dark mango medley. Oops. And I'm going to take the little one, and I'm going to do his little beak. And I'm going to do the one down here. All right, I'm going to take my dark and my light crumb cake. So I'm going to start with the dark one, and I'm going to do just a little bit underneath my little bird there. And then I'm going to take the light and just kind of fill in the ends. Okay, so between the tree and this, and you can tell I had a little bit of a white in there from where the blue didn't get, and that's okay. I just filled that in there. Alright, so I'm going to do the squirrel first because I know that I want him to be the cinnamon color. So I'm going to do his nose black. I'm going to do his, I'm going to do, I think his mouth the lighter color. So let's, I'm not going to do much shading on him just because he just doesn't have, he's in the tree for the most part, so I don't need a lot of shading. I'm going to do him a little darker. And now I'm debating. Alright, I'm going to go around with him first and color, give him some color. I'm going to think about him for a minute because I may change him up a bit. But I'm going to do his tail, same thing. I'm going to do a little dark, and then underneath, kind of just go around him. And I'm going to try bronze. I love the bronze. The bronze was on sale in the clearance, I think, because our blends sell 2 to a pack now, not just 1. And I love the bronze color. I use it a lot. It's just a really nice brown, and it's in between like a brown and like a chestnut or cinnamon. So I kind of use this one a lot. So I bought a few of these. See, okay, I like him like that. I think I'm going to lighten his little mouth a little, and I'm just going to use the light Crumb Cake just to lighten him up a bit. Alright, I like that. Alright, so for the owl, I think I'm going to use, let's see what gray granite looks like. So we'll do the light. Alright, and we'll do the dark. Alright, so let's do him in the light. So I'm going to do the dark here. On his belly. I'm going to pull back in, I think, I think I'll do pumpkin, the light pumpkin, to do his little nose. And I don't see owls too much up close, so it might not be that color, but that's alright. And I'm going to do the dark. I'm going to do a little bit up here. I'm actually just going to do the dark up here altogether because it's a fairly light color. And again, I'm just going to kind of do a dark there, and then we're going to go in with the light. These guys are so cute, these little animals. I think this makes a perfect little slimline. Now my first thought was to put the image just flat on the card and not really do a pop-up of any kind. But I didn't like how that was working because it doesn't really fit in anywhere. I'm going to do the bird up above. Let's see. I think I'm going to do decisions. I don't want him to be too green because he'll blend in with the tree. So let's do dark balmy blue. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, let's do him the dark balmy blue. And we're going to do dark on his wing, a Okay, and then we're going to do the light balmy blue. Oh, that's a bad idea. Let me rethink this a second, because the sky is that. So I'm going to pull in some light peacock. I'm going a little off here now because of the balmy blue. Let's see. I'm going to finish him with the soft sea, or the light seaside spray. Yes, it's blue, but I think I'm going to blend the peacock and right over him, and he'll just kind of, so he's kind of hiding, and that's okay. All right, so I like that. This is how I craft, you guys. I'm just like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And now I am going to do my raccoon in the light cinnamon, so he can really pop. He's got his black. I don't think I'm going to fill that in at all. I'm going to leave it all the little stripes. I'm going to do my little raccoon. I like him the cinnamon, but I'm going to color the inside of his ears. Oh look, I forgot our little guy right here. His little feet. Alright. And the inside of his ears, I think I'm going to do, let's see what light Rococo Rose looks like. A couple of little things like that, and then I think I'm going to take the ivory and just soften that down a little bit. See how that just softens that pink? You can still tell that they're pink, but it's not like crazy. All right, I think I need the light Rococo again. I'm just going to go back because I kind of blended it quite a bit. Add a little bit. All right, and I think I'm going to make his eyes green. Just because, why not? I'm going to do a dark, let's do a light or dark seafoam. I think a dark seafoam green. And we'll just do that for his eyes. How cute. All right. That's kind of hard to see on screen, but that's what I did. All right, we're almost done. If you're still with me, congrats, because coloring is not always the funnest thing to watch, I know. All right, so ivory at the top. I think my duck, or my little bird there, I think I'm just going to make him, well, I was going to make him yellow, but he's not really a yellow. I think I'm just going to do the same as I did above. He's not really like a duck sitting in a tree, right? So we're going to do his peacock, which is the light, pretty peacock. And then we're going to take I'm going to do the dark seaside spray. And we'll just blend that in with the peacock. And there we go. Now I know my husband's on his way home, and I know that my dog is probably going to go crazy any minute because he should be here. And he is going to go crazy. So when he starts barking, we'll know why. All right. I think we do our sentiment. Let me try and put these back on here so I don't lose where I'm at. All right, I think we're going to, and I think let's add, I don't want string, ribbon, I don't want anything, I think. I really like just the way he is. I I'm running out of seal, you guys. This is a new one. Well, it was earlier today. But I am running out already. And I ordered a bunch, so I can't wait till my order gets here. Okay, and I'm going to do one down the middle because it is a large panel. We are going to, I was thinking we could do some brown around that. What if we did that? Let's do crumb cake. So I'm grabbing my brush and just a little bit of crumb cake. I think this will just kind of, I don't know. I just like the idea of it. So we're just going to go around the outside. Just a little bit, just so it's kind of softens the color a little. And then when we put our panel up on it, I think it'll look nice. I just don't know that I would want that stark brown color there. I don't know. These weird things come to me at the last minute then when I do this. Alright. I know it's hard. You really can't see a big difference, but you can in person. Alright, let's see. Okay, I like that. So we just added a little. So let me back you out just a tad now so you don't have to be so close. Alright. So let's add our panel. I already put glue on it. Alright. So remember, when you do your blend, you got to be careful. I think I got a little green right there, but that's alright. You can hardly see it. Look how cute that is. Alright, so let's, do I want to pop it up? I don't think I'm going to. I think, let's turn this over, because it's messy. And let's go ahead and add our adhesive. We're going to pop up our sentiment. Now, had I not had to pop up my sentiment, and I was going to do it just on the card itself, I probably would have popped this up. But I kind of like that it's just... Alright, there we go. Now our sentiment, I have this paper here from what I cut off, and let's see how that fits. I just re-inked my pad, so it might get kind of blobby right there. Let's see. Let's see if I go down. Okay, let's do another one. See, now I'm afraid it's like too inky. I don't want to get it all. See, my bottom one's not inky enough. All right, hold on. I gotta ink. It's also new and hasn't been stamped yet, so. All right, let's try and find another piece of paper. Another paper. All right, here's one right here. See how dark it is on top but not on the bottom? But I think it's because I just, you know what, let me get my other ink pad. I just inked that one, and I think It's a little too inky right at the moment. So we'll let that sit. Let's try this one. Okay. Well, that looks better. I still don't like it. I don't know why. Ah, that's better. That is much better. Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave it on white and not put a color behind it. But I will bring in my trimmer. And let's try and trim it straight. I don't want to get much cut off of it, but where's my line? I was in here just crafting away, and then I realized that my tree out my front window wasn't on, nothing was on, and I was just in here working away. Alright, so there's that, and I think there's too much down here. Oh, that's too close. Alright, I think that will work. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Gotta cut off a It's just the word on the bottom is out farther. There we go. Alright, so now I need dimensionals. Yay, we are almost done. I hope you guys hung in there with me. I know the coloring's not a favorite thing to watch, but I hope that you learned that this stamp set with the Stamparatus is actually super nice. Alright, I think I'm just going to put it right. Well, look, this is where the tree's off a little bit, and look how nice that goes right there. And we're just going to lay it right there. Alright, so there is our card. How cute is that? Alright, there's my messy desk. There. I really like it. And now I just need an inside. And there is another cute little guy that we could put in the inside. There's butterflies you could add. Let's look at this. There's balloons you could add, but because I just did, I hope your day stacks up to be good, you know, one good thing after another. And that's kind of them stacked up. That's cute. But if it's happy birthday, you could put little notes like they're singing from all of us. But I'm going to put the little, I don't know. I was going to put the bunny inside, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think, what do I want to put inside? You know what? I'm going to take this. I'm going to bring my Stamparatus back in really quick. We are going to put this up there. Take that out. I'm going to put the tree in here, but I want just a little bit of tree. Like right there. So I'm going to put that. I'm going to take my black and we're just going to add a little bit of tree. I know it's going to go on the inside right there, but that's okay. We'll wipe it off. And we're just going to put the tree right there. And you want to make sure the little bird's beak is not right there. You don't really need that. Okay. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that trunk of the tree. Okay, so you want to wipe that off. Alright, and I'll put that back in till I clean that off. Woo! Alright, So right here, we're going to take our colors back in. We did our soft suede. And so this is what we're going to do, is we're going to take this and just take a black pen. Let's see, what do I have? This one's glitter. Don't want glitter. I have a black pen right here. And I'm just going to kind of go down like that. I'm going to do another little mark right there, so that just looks like part of the tree that was planned. All right, now we're going to take our soft suede. We're going to do our dark spots. We're going to take our light and just go in and color that in. And I'm just going to go all the way to the edge of the paper. Right there. All right, so there is our trunk. And I'm going to go ahead and act like this is part of the trunk too, just so we can finish off that part of the tree there, which means I just need this little dark spot right there. And that looks like all. I'm not going to worry about the blue sky. I'm not going to worry about any of that. We're going to go back in with our light. No, we went with our dark Old Olive and we did our lines. And I'm not even worried about the shading of the other colors. We're just going to get this in here to finish off this card. And you could do this on your envelope too, whatever you want to do. All right, oops, this one. So we're just going to kind of do the bottom of our leaves there. And then we are going to go back in with our light Mossy Meadow. Oh, that's the color we went back in to do the shading. Well, we really don't need to do that, but we'll add a little just to tie it into the same as the front. And then let's get our light Old Olive. And I'm going to do the, I just get nervous when I do the large one when it's little stuff like this. And then just do the light Old Olive. Move these out of the way. Here is the card. So this was really fun, you guys. I actually enjoyed this a lot. Like I said, I thought this was a perfect video to watch so that you can fast forward through the coloring. I know a lot of people don't like to watch coloring. I love watching coloring. I don't mind because I learn a lot of stuff. So for me, I always find something that I'm like, I would not have thought of that, or I forgot about that, or, well, that makes sense. Why haven't I been doing that all this time? That kind of thing. So you don't always have to use the light and the dark. You don't always have to use the same light with the same dark. But a lot of people were concerned about the blends being sold in a light and a dark. And to me, I almost always use a light and a dark. And like, they might not always be the same. Like Mossy Meadow dark was a little dark for this one. And so I didn't use it. I used Old Olive, but I brought in the light Mossy Meadow and added a little bit of that in there. So it just kind of, you know, just depends on what you're looking for, what image, you know. If you, like, we use the dark Mossy Meadow cardstock. Had I used the Granny Apple, I would have used Granny Apple instead, because the Mossy Meadow would have been dark. I mean, so light. the Granny Apple would have been so light, which is what I was going to use on the card. And then when I realized what card base I was using, I thought, ooh, that's not a good idea. So I changed it up. So there is our inside. There's my positive note I'm going to send to somebody, but I have to go buy a number 10 envelope because I don't have one. But how cute is that? And I actually think we could add, look, see, here I am again. We could add, I kind of like these black matte dots, and I kind of think these would be kind of cool. So I'm going to add one here because I had a little green boo-boo right there. I could just see the ink. And I'm going to add a small one down here by the sentiment. And I think that's it. Now that I'm looking at that, that kind of looks like it's animal poop, but we're just going to ignore that fact. But you can put clouds in the skies, you've got a balloon, you've got all kinds. Look at the hip hip hooray. You could put that in the inside if you wanted, or hanging from your tree. You know, there's all kinds of cute things. Little bunny you can add or put him on the inside. So there's some really cute things here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to do. And I think that is a super fun card to send to somebody that just says, hope your day stacks up to be one good thing on top of another. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, even though I'm not live. All of the things apply with the subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. Come back, leave a comment. I'd really appreciate it. And I'm glad my hair is not purple anymore, or is it? Oh, it is. Oh, there it goes. Look at, there goes the purple. Anyway, have a fantastic rest of your day. It is still Sunday the 13th for me, but I'm going to probably post this sometime towards the end of next week, as I have another video already for you, and I'm going to try and create a couple more so that I can fill your week up with some crafting fun, although I know you're going to be busy for your Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas, but I will see you Tuesday before then, and I will chat with you. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.